All right, this is day 2, or well, attempt 2 to work on the firepower pinball machine to clean it out. We are going to start removing the dead mouse there, and we're going to try to chisel off a lot of this old nest, clean all of this up. Notice that the bottom is pulling away from the base of the cabinet, so we may actually end up replacing the bottom altogether here. Certainly not today, but definitely something that we'll want to consider. Looks like there's been a lot of moisture damage in here, a lot of corrosion. Looking at some of the parts here, I'm going to have to go through and sand and clean a lot of this off for sure. And I also found bits and pieces of the original back glass floating around in here that we're going to need to correct. And then back here in the back, I think we've got another beehive. So I'm going to have to pull the power supply out. I was going to have to pull all that out anyway and clean it all up. We've got some parts coming in to kind of just spruce up the boards before we actually try to plug it in to see if we get power and stuff. I want to make sure that all of the ends and the connectors are soldered in good and the capacitors are in good shape and new fuses before we even attempt that. So that's going to be next on the agenda when that stuff comes in. But for now, we're going to start cleaning up the crap in the case. Okay, a quick job with the chisel and vacuuming, and you can see that it looks a lot better already. And next up, we're going to take the coins and stuff into out of the thing, because we got quite a bit of coins in here. You can't see it just yet, I don't think, but there's a lot of coins in here. Let's see if we can open this up here. See, actually got some of our money back probably. But anyway, we're gonna go clean those up just for fun and start cleaning up the parts here and see if we can get some shine back to the plastic. So we're looking at the quarters now that have been mostly cleaned up. They could still use some polishing, and there's still a few that's got some grit and stuff on it. But I was surprised to see how many were still in the cabinet, that they weren't lifted out and taken away. But go ahead and put some guesses down in the comment section of what you think, how many quarters there were in this machine. I was pleasantly surprised. But this is kind of all you're going to get. I'll tell you in the next episode how many quarters there were. But some anecdotal analysis shows that the last time this pinball machine was used was somewhere around 2000. And I based that upon the fact that the oldest quarter I found was 2000 minted. That doesn't mean anything. Obviously, they could have just been all old quarters, but I would suggest that maybe there was... the last time it really was in use was somewhere around 2000, 2001, which means the machine really has been sitting dormant for well over 22 years, or in somebody's garage, basement, or barn. Looking at some of the other stuff here we went ahead and cleaned up the tops as well as the plastics. Now, all of this stuff is replaceable because of the nature of this machine. So if we really wanted to get this machine to back up to, well, it'll never be mint condition, but, you know, better condition, we could always replace these with new aftermarket items. But, you know, for now, for this exercise, we're just going to clean them up as best we can and keep the original look based upon the age, and I think they look pretty good now that they've been gone through some Dawn dish detergent. So anyway, that's all for this episode. Thank you for watching. We'll be working on the power next. I'm excited to actually get into the electronics. We got some repair kits in from our good friends at Big Daddy Enterprises, and they specialize in pinball electronics. And so we're going to be doing some circuitry work and just checking out to see if the power and the power board has any life left in it, because that's really the next big step. Thank you for joining me.